year, and it was fantastic. And that was a really beautiful day. Anyway, so welcome to everybody. We're recording now. And this is a very special evening, as you know. Not only is it my birthday, and of course, I'll probably say that about 5 times at least during this evening, just in case you forget, but also it is, of course, the Lionsgate. And just a little introduction about why this is happening. Basically, I've had a an ongoing connection with ancient Egypt and gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt over the years, but I've never really got too close other than Sekhmet, who I've worked with, and had some wonderful experiences with different Sekhmets all over the world in various museums. But this year, it seemed like it was important that I got to know the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and I was in Trieste, and I happened to go not by plan, but I happened to go to an Egyptian or a museum that had an Egyptian ancient Egypt display, and I bought some cards, the Egyptian god oracle cards, and another set of Lenormand cards as well, Egyptian Lenormand, and it felt, and I started working with the cards and getting to know the gods and goddesses a little bit more. And I didn't actively think, okay, this is what I've got to do as usual, like we all do. You buy a deck of cards, you play with it for a bit, and then you put it aside, and then one day you pick it up again, or maybe you don't. So I hadn't quite integrated it into my readings and such like, but obviously they had come into my sphere of consciousness because when I was at a crop circle conference a couple of weeks ago, I was at the Wayland Smithy Long Barrow, which is a Neolithic site, and that's kind of was built around the same time that the pyramids, or around as old as the pyramids. A meditation channeling in there, and I had a very powerful experience of meeting an Egyptian guide. And I'm not sure yet whether she's a guide, but she turned up that day, and it felt very, very personal and very intense for me. Some of you will have had that meditation. I did this cheeky little thing to get more reviews on Amazon. If people reviewed the book, they got the that particular meditation. But it was I kind of had that experience and I let it go. And then lo and behold, it seems like the Egyptian gods and goddesses kept coming forward. And during that meditation, I was told by this beautiful woman that seemed like she was Nefertiti, which was interesting, that Nefertiti had a connection to Sirius. And I was thinking, okay, that's interesting because that star is not a star that I've particularly paid too much attention. It has again come in and out. Sirius has been noted to be maybe connected to crop circles, and other people say that it's not. But it was interesting. And then the idea of the Lionsgate kept popping up everywhere as it always does. And I've had some amazing experiences in the last few years during Lionsgate, one of which was having a call, being down in Wiltshire, which is the area where most crop circles are, and getting a call from somebody saying there's a crop circle. We've just heard it's brand new. And we jumped in the car and we had an hour left of dark before it got dark, an hour left of light. We got there just as it was getting dark, and totally miraculously, we found this formation because there's no signposts, there's no lights. You're just going through, whatever intuition you have and a vague recollection or understanding from some map somewhere. And it was the Lionsgate. It was on the 8th. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the 7th. And there it turned out that we were near a hill fort, which is a ancient people's hill fort. And on the other side of that was a safari park where there were lions, and we could hear the lions roaring in the background. It was so powerful. And as we heard them, we were there into midnight, and then it became the Lion's Gate, and we chanted into the Lion's Gate, and it was a very beautiful experience. So I won't tell you too much more now. I might tell you another story, crop circle related Lionsgate story afterwards, after we've done the meditation. But I want to get ready for the meditation. So I want to tell you a little bit more about Lionsgate itself. I'm going to run through this quite quickly. And remember, it's being recorded, so don't worry if you miss any of it. But I just want to say the most important thing, thank you so much for joining me. It's absolutely amazing to have all of you here. We are creating a field of energy together. We are walking through this portal together. So this is very special for all of us to go through this in this way because the Lion's Gate is a portal, and I'm going to assist you to walk into the other side of life, the unseen world, through the portal of the Lion's Gate. So we'll do the meditation starting at 8 o'clock. Make sure that you are comfortable, things, telephone switched off, that kind of thing, so that you can get the best out of it. The Lion's Gate is a modern spiritual observance. It became quite popular around 2012 when there was a big spiritual awakening going on, lots of things happening, and lots of crop circle stories for me. And it draws together some powerful symbols, the star Sirius and the return of the light, the story of the return of the light, the connection with ancient Egypt, the number 8 and the infinity symbol, the sun being in Leo, Leo the lion and the solar heart of the lion, the white lions in Timbavati in southern Africa have come to be connected with this day as well because they're known as the star lions. I'll talk about that later. So together, these symbols create this experience of a spiritual threshold. And during August 8th, the Earth and the Sun in Leo and Sirius align. And as I said, it becomes this amazing portal. So we have this opportunity to align ourselves with the life that we wish to create and to bring a spiritual vision into physical form. So that's essentially what we are going to be doing. So, as I said, at the heart of the Lion's Gate is Sirius. It was the brightest star in the night sky. And in ancient Egypt, it was associated with goddess Isis. And by the way, I picked this card earlier from the deck, and it's Nut. And Nut is the mother goddess. And she also is the mother of Isis, which is amazing because I picked this out of all the cards and this was the one. And as you can see, that blue figure, she embodies and is the goddess of the stars as well as the earth. So that was very nice to have that affirmation. But for about 70 days in ancient Egypt, Sirius traveled through the sky alongside the sun, and so it couldn't be seen. And when it returned in the morning sky, it was celebrated because it was like, wow, yes, we know now that the floodplains are going to flood. And that means that we are going to have fertility. It's restoration of life. It was very, very exciting. So it was the return, the herald of returning light. So the spiritual message is about light may disappear from sight, but it's never actually extinguished. And the eighth itself, the eighth of the eighth, brings to us the symbolism of the number 8, which represents balance and power, responsibility, cause and consequence, and most importantly, spirit expressed through matter. Because as we go through that infinity symbol, we go to the unseen worlds, we integrate it to the human physical world, we go back again, backwards and forwards, and that eternal infinity sign goes on and on in that process. In Kabbalistic teachings, 7 represented the completion of the cycle of nature, and anything that happened after that became transcendent, the infinite and the miraculous. So that became a very important number as representing again the unseen world and spirit, whichever name you have for it. So Leo itself, which is the number 8, we have the 8th day of the 8th month, which is the month of Leo. The Leo itself represents the solar heart, courage, creativity, joy, visibility, leadership, and authentic self-expression. And there's also this wonderful connection between the white lions, as I was saying, of Timbavati, and the story of Sirius, because the white lions, because of they had this rare genetic this fault, well, it's kind of a miracle more than a fault, that means that they are a color that's kind of a white, creamy, almost a silvery color. They were hunted almost out into extinction. They were trophy animals. They were taken into zoos and such like. But conservation work actually helped to bring them back to their natural ancestral ecosystem where they are now, and they're able to hunt and breed and live successfully. And so their return became a symbol of restoration and freedom and resilience and sovereignty and the return of the sacred. So we have that connection. They were also known as star lions and the children of the sun. And so they are very, very special. So the white lions represent power without aggression. And these are all lessons that humans need really badly right now. Strength without domination, authority without control, and sovereignty without superiority, which is really fabulous. And we also, 4 minutes left, I'm paying attention. We also have the fact that we've got the Leo eclipse coming. So we are in the shadow of the eclipse, and this eclipse creates another portal, which is really powerful. And this year's Lionsgate becomes especially powerful because we're so close to this total solar eclipse, which is pretty amazing. So a solar eclipse is basically an intensified new moon, and it's also a threshold between chapters. So again, this idea of portals, which is pretty amazing. And it's eclipses always come in twos. We have the solar, and then 2 weeks later we have the lunar. So we have a series of big events. We also had a very big new moon as well. So we have, as we prepare for the meditation, allow these symbols of this evening to come together. That's hopefully what will happen when we open up. And we have Sirius, the returning light. We have Isis restoring what was lost. We have the eight joining spirit and matter. We have Leo awakening the solar heart and true leadership. The white lion embodying sacred sovereignty, and the eclipse, which is about releasing the identity we have outgrown. So the gateway is open already. It opened on the 28th, I believe. Could have been the 29th, but I think it's the 28th. And it closes on the 12th, which is when the eclipse is. And so we are in that. But of course, the 8th of the 8th is the pinnacle of that. So the white lions and the energy of the white lions are already here. I can feel them. As I began, I set up sacred space, which I did before we all came together. And the intention is really just to reclaim the light, as I said, that we thought we'd lost, to find more authenticity, and the fact that we are doing this together. And that's really important because I'm walking this walk with you, and not as superior, but as your accompanist, if that's the right way to say it. But I'm accompanying you, and I am lucky to be in this position that I can do that at this time. It's a massive blessing for me. So I really want you to allow yourself to fall very deeply into this meditation, stroke channeling, whatever it is, and just follow the imagery if you can. If you're not good at following imagery in your mind, just feel what it feels like to have this experience, just to allow yourself to listen. If you can visualize, then listen to my words as anchors to just allow yourself to go deeper. But you don't have to make those anchors the only thing that exists for you. Look around this place that we're going together. You'll see things that I don't see. You'll have experiences that I don't have. And all of that is part of this very magical whole that we are creating tonight. So the meditation will be, I don't know how long, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20. Then if we have time, we'll open up for Q&A afterwards or discussion. But we'll see how it goes. It might go longer. I don't know. We'll just I'll just feel into it. So here we are. We're here at the 8 o'clock, and I have goosebumps, and I want you all to just anchor yourself in the gravity, the beautiful gravity, the miracle of gravity. And for a moment, and I'm getting goosebumps all over, just for a moment, as you feel yourself connected to the earth, let yourself remind yourself that you are entering a sacred space, that you are not just a bag of bones, that you are something vast as the universe and beyond. As Nut accompanies us and helps us see the expanse that exists within every single cell of our bodies. In each cell is the capacity of energy that can be released, that is as impactful as a star, as the sun. We are factories of light. Every single molecule has a mitochondrial factory communicating through light with each other. We are beings of light. Gather around all the guides of all of the people on this call. Call forward your ancestors, as they would have had a connection with the stars beyond anything we could ever imagine. They walked with bare feet on the bare ground. They communicated with animals, with the weather, with plants. They understood which plants were safe to eat and which plants were medicines, which animals were helpers, which animals were guardians, which animals were sacred. They recognized the planets as being sacred. We honor the ancestors all the way back in time, for every single one of us is connected to those people back in time that lived on the earth with nothing but nature. We call in the angels. The angels bring us light. They bring us protection. Their great wings surround us. And we bring in the great gods and goddesses who bring us the beauty, the intelligence, the symbolism of the archetypes of life. So stand in this place of presence. Leave behind all that has been on your mind today. Forget it. You are here right now. Remember that vertical axis, not the horizontal past or present, but the vertical axis at the point, the center of the cross, which we abide in. This is the moment I am calling you into, so we can walk together whole through this portal. And I see the lions approach. You may hear them too, their soft paws padding, boom, boom, boom. You can feel the earth move with their weight. and their commitment to their message. You may hear a distant roar or a rumble, a growl, acknowledging their presence. And the minute you sense them, you stand up straighter, or you sit straighter. There is something so powerful in their presence, so sacred. And I'm feeling many white lions. I thought there would be two, one on each side of us. But those two, the guardians which each of you have, like the chariot, the tarot card with the sphinxes left and right, or the columns of the high priestess, letting us know the polarity of the two. We have these lions, male, female, and we are in the center, and they are guiding us and guarding us. And with them comes their pack and their ancestors. For this is a very sacred moment for these lions to share their message. And the room is getting fuller, and all your rooms are getting fuller. And as this happens, the walls fade away. You are standing in this huge, beautiful, ancient scene, and you see the pyramids ahead and the lions all around. And we are going to begin to walk towards this giant, great pyramid of light ahead of us. And as we walk beside our lions, feeling their breath, their warm breath on our bodies, on our hands as we softly graze their fur, we know we are safe. We know we are being guided towards something very special. We are walking with the lions. And as we move towards this beautiful pyramid, we see a gate ahead, like curtains opening to reveal more light. And we start to feel our body shedding its structure, its ego, its questioning. We are melting into the experience as we enter this great pyramid and become connected to this light. And it feels like this light has been calling us for decades, since you were a child, waiting for this moment, not knowing why we've been born into these human bodies, why we've had to live these human lives, which sometimes has felt so small, so limiting, so wrong. And yet so beautiful. Because we have always known within us that this light is always there. And you may have felt it as a ray of light coming through a window, or a stained glass in a church, or the sound of a harp, or the look of a child in its innocence and trust. You may have known this light in so many forms. Little gifts along the way of this human path, helping us keep going. But here we are now, and we've crossed the threshold. None of you are left behind. Even if you've fallen asleep, you are with us. And all of those who listen to this in the future, whether it's the 8th of August or not, this moment in time is created for everyone at all times, as time is not as we know it as humans. It exists each moment continuously. Look around you. What do you see? You may want to hold your hands over your heart. How does your heart feel right now? Are you feeling the sense of release? Are you feeling the sense of the shadow lifting? Are you feeling the old roots, the gnarly, dark, old roots of your being that have been grounded in soil that was not nourishing? Can you feel the soil changing, becoming more healthy? You are drinking the sweetest water through your roots. You are drinking the water of paradise, of light, of translucent, joyous, abundant, profound, miraculous light. And it's flowing through you, connecting with those mitochondria, releasing and releasing and releasing, knowing that this space inside this great pyramid is a transformer, a healer, a messenger. And now, as you start to feel new, reborn, your eyes open, in your mind they open as if a baby seeing for the first time and walking towards you is a huge, huge king of the white lions. And beside him is a goddess of the pyramid. Maybe this is Nut. She has no name, but the stars are twinkling above her, round and round like the swirl of a galaxy. And she's holding the mane of the lion gently. They are one creature. They are one heart. And each one of us is standing in a line in front of her. And she is walking along this line. And as she does, She looks into those newborn eyes so deeply that you are seen in a way that you've never been seen before. She sees the authentic you down to the very heart, the core of you. She is seeing all of you right now, and she loves what she sees, and she blesses what she sees. And she says to each one of you, you are a leader. Come and lead in your authentic self. There is no need for your mask. There is no need for power and control or fear. Be you and bring with you your pack into the light. For the human family is changing, and we are the forebearers of that change, every single one of us. We are the beacons. We are carrying the message in every gesture, every word, every action that we do with kindness, without judgment, with love at its most truest. And the lion is reaching out his paw, and each one of us puts our hand forward in our mind, and he touches our paw for a second or two. Just feel that. It is a seal of commitment, acknowledgement that we are going to see the world with these new-born eyes. The light has returned. The beauty of life will be revealed, and life is renewed again. Take a deep breath into that. Can you feel those connections between those light communications with our mitochondria chatting away, bringing more light to the cells within our bodies that are in shadow? Can you just feel that tingling within you and around you? It's a miracle. Brings tears to my eyes. The joy of the trust that these beings have in us ordinary 100 or so people. We are just ordinary. We are human. We've made mistakes. We've chosen the wrong path at times. We've chosen the wrong relationships at times. We've eaten the wrong food at times. We make mistakes every day. We don't exercise enough. We're sometimes cruel to the people around us. We're just ordinary humans, and yet the trust these beings are giving us today is sublime. It is beyond words. It's hard to leave this place, but there is a pyramid settling inside of you and outside of you and outside of all of us. 3 pyramids. And these pyramids, like the ancient pyramids of Giza and all over the world, they still exist after thousands of years. These pyramids will light our way from here on in. So look around you. Maybe there's one last thing you're being shown or given. One last kiss from the goddess or the lion. One last huge roar from the lion. Whoa. So loud and powerful, shaking away the last remnants of any doubt. Ah, so beautiful. And we can say thank you to these beautiful beings, the angels, the ancestors, the gods and goddesses, Newt, this stunning lion, and the goddess, the mother, and all the lions. And we turn and walk out of the pyramid complete, recognizing in our human selves the completeness of our soul that has always been there. And our two guardian lions accompany us back, and they may choose to stay with you from here on in. So take a few deep breaths. You may want to say your name. Maybe you have a new name by now. Maybe not. Your name is just fine. Or sing a song, or snap your fingers, or clap 3 times. Come back into the material world. Come back. Feel the grounding that's still there under your feet, the miracle of gravity. And just know that you are forever beautiful. And if you have some water, take a sip of water. So, you can put comments in the chat if you want to. Well, none of that was planned. It was kind of unexpected for me, as it always is. And this is something that we can all do on our own, just allowing ourselves to open up to the unseen world and the gifts and the messages and the guidance that is given to us at all times. So let's see. I wanted to give you something to go away with. So Debbie is going to put an 8-card Lion's Gate spread that you can do with tarot. And it's something she's going to put that in the chat now. And so you can copy it or download it or whichever way it comes out. But it's designed for you to just carry on doing this work afterwards. There it is. And as you can see, it's set in an infinity. in the shape of the infinity symbol. And as you can see, there are different positions. So if you know tarot, you'll know that we have different spreads where you have a position that means something, and then you pick a card that goes into that position. So if you place the strength card, which is the guardian of the gate, in the center of the infinity, and then the first card is asking you to look at, it's the eclipse card. Because the eclipse, you have the sun and the moon, and when the moon or the sun crosses each other, it darkens the other one, blocks it out. So the light is blocked as it is for Sirius for 70 days. The eclipse, it's only minutes. And next year is going to be an eclipse, which is going to be very, very long eclipse. This eclipse, I think it's maybe 4 minutes or something like that, but it's shortest, but it's still long, where there's going to be darkness. And as it does that, it gives you the opportunity to look at what it is that you want to release. And then with the second card, it's about what higher guidance is returning to you. So maybe you experienced some of that in the meditation. Maybe you had a sense of what that guidance is going to be for you. And then the white, excuse me, the white lion is the third position around the infinity. And you can use an oracle deck. You can use the major arcana. You can use the minor arcana. You can mix them together, whichever way feels right for you to choose. You can even put runes there if you want to. But the white lion is what sacred power is awakening within you. And the white lions, the indigenous people in the area of Timbavati, they believe that the white lions were star-seeded, that they came from the stars. So we have this magical otherness about us. Each one of us does. But as we become more aware in this, developing as mediums and psychics, tarot readers, we become more aware of that sparkle, that specialness within us. And that sacred power awakens within us. So what sacred power is awakening within you? And then the shadow of Leo, because the shadow side of Leo, and like Bill Clinton is the most kind of typical Leo. He was friendly, big-hearted, very chatty, very generous. He used to pay people's bills in hotels that he didn't know, and friendly and funny. But we know that there was another side of him in his marriage, and who knows what else. He was a politician, and to be a politician, there has to be an element of otherness, unfortunately. So he was very typical. And with the shadow of the lion comes the ego. I'm the biggest in the land. I'm the strongest. I'm the best. It's the leaders we don't want. It's the leaders that fight, attack, want to control. We see that in religion as well. The shadow side of light is darkness. And it comes with performing, this kind of performing, wearing a mask that we don't need. So look at that in position 4. And then there's 5, the solar heart, which is the light side of Leo, which is what is your most authentic form of expression, because the more authentic you are, the more people feel the light coming from you. So authenticity is something that attracts people. It's a magnet, like beautiful lions, a magnet. Magnets, they're so stunning. It's that kind of They are who they are. They're not pretending to be anyone else because they're the apex creature. They don't have to. They eat everyone else. So, they're the kings. They don't have to do anything other than just be. So that's the solar heart, the most authentic form of your expression. And then six, what is Jupiter's gift? Because Jupiter and Saturn are very big in what's going on right now in the sky. And Jupiter is it's a benevolent planet. What it touches expands. It's all about the light. So what is ready to grow and expand in your life? And then Saturn is all about responsibility and structure and good ego, well-structured ego. Like boundary, I used to say to my son, boundaries are our friends. And that was important. We have to have boundaries within which to live. If we don't have boundaries, it's chaos. So what responsibility and what boundaries are you accepting? And that commitment of the lion's paw, which I don't know how you felt, but I felt this energy field around my hand because when I do meditations, I'm kind of there doing two things. And I felt like almost like a ball of heat and pulsing. It was just amazing. It was such a powerful feeling. That was a commitment. It was a seal, a promise. That's Saturn. And then eight, beyond the gateway, what am I being called to embody in the coming cycle? Like, what am I going to do as a human, walking in the land, walking in the environment, walking out into the world? What am I bringing as that human? And then, Debbie, if you want to put up the next thing which you can also download or whatever way. I think you can download it. I'm not sure if you can, but whatever it is. Debbie, can I just check that it's recording? Yeah, okay. It says on my end recording pause, but that's probably because it's my side. Had a panic moment there. Okay, so right, Debbie is the next slide. Um, okay, can you download it? It looks like if you double click on it, it should download. And these are, oh, there we go. I haven't lost you, have I? No. Okay, so these are for those of us that are who like to use intentional prayer and intentional work. You call it witchcraft, you can call it anything you like, altar work. But these are Lionsgate altar cards. So you can use any of these cards on your altar in the next, until the 12th, especially in the coming portal that we're in. And we've got the star. And if you look at the star is very similar and connected to Nut. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, the goddess of the sky and the celestial bodies. So the star is very much that goddess of the sky and the celestial bodies. And she inherits two worlds, two elements, the water and the earth. And she's open, she's vulnerable, she's fully authentic. So the star is about Sirius, planet Sirius, the higher guidance, the returning light, the renewal. Then the strength card is the gateway, white lion, courage guided by love. And then we've got the death card, because that's what we're releasing. We've got this period of time until the second eclipse to really work on this. And the eclipses will amplify the energy. I don't know about you guys, but at the moment, I had 4 hours sleep last night. I just could not sleep. I was so amped up. And I thought, I'm going to have to collapse today. And then I was up at 7:30. I've been on the go in the entire time, except for a 20-minute nap that I was able to take in between people and chaos and this and that. And it's not just because it's my birthday. It seems like life is like this at the moment. It's amping up. The energy of the eclipse is amping up. So, what do we want to let go of? Because in this cycle, we can let go in this cycle. Otherwise, we have to let go whatever in the next cycle, and the next cycle, and the next cycle. So, the more work we can do when we have the support of the planetary energies, the better it is, because we can get whatever we need done so that can become more and more authentic. And as we become more and more authentic, we become more and more effective, we become happier. We're not being sitting there thinking we're not good enough or any of the other silly things that we all do. So it's about your former identity ending. And then the sun, the golden heart, the authenticity, illumination, and that beauty of the sun coming forward. And then the emperor, sacred responsibility. And during that meditation, you were invoked. You were initiated into your own leadership. So that becomes a very important card as well. So those are the cards. I hope you're all able to download them. And I just want to say just a little bit, and then we can open up for questions. I just wanted to kind of do a bit of mentioning, my work. For those, some of you may have come in and never done courses with me before, saw me on social media and thought, who is this person? I liked her necklace in the photo. I'll come in to the Lion's Gate. That was a birthday present last year from my husband. Well, was it last year? Or maybe the year before from my husband, by the way. But anyway, so maybe it was that. Maybe you know my work, whichever way. But for those of you who don't know my work, who haven't done my master classes, I have a psychic mediumship masterclass starting on the 8th of September. I then have a tarot masterclass, and these are either 6-week or 7-week classes. They're 90 minutes each week, and they are I pack in as much as I possibly can into those masterclasses. It's done through Facebook Live, and then so that's the 16th is the tarot one, and then the witchcraft one is the 4th of November. I also wanted to mention my book, which I was published this year, and it's the best way, the quickest, easiest way to buy it is to go onto my website, which is lindarauchmedium.com. And if you register for the newsletter, which is a wonderful newsletter, which happens every Sabbath, so it's not every week or not even every month. But it's a lovely little newsletter, and when you register for that, you get 3 bonuses, one of which is a meditation, and there's an ebook and something else I've forgotten. But if you go onto that site, then you can choose the Amazon link to your particular territory. And then if you do want to give me a review on Amazon, because it really does help other people hear about me, then please give me a review, send me an email through my website, and I'll send you that Wayland Smithy meditation as a thank you. And then what else was there? Oh, yes. Then the big thing, the big thing, the big thing. For those of you who have done my masterclasses, and even those of you who haven't, I have advanced training, and many of the people on this call are my advanced training students. Some of them have been in the academy for 3-4 years, and the academy is an ongoing training, and it's live training every Monday between 5 and 6 UK time, and once a month at 11 in the morning for Australians or Southern Hemisphere people. And there's all sorts of resources. There's a book, there's hours and hours of videos, there's meditations, there's a certification, etc., etc. Anyway, Debbie's going to put up the links, because what we're doing normally it's one price, but for 1 week after you've completed the masterclass, there's a discount price. And we've never done this before, ever. But we are reducing all the academies today because of this event, because of Lionsgate. So if you want to join one of the academies, or you did a masterclass a while ago, you didn't get a chance to join the academy at the discount rate, you can click on any of those links, and it'll go through all the information with you, so you can look at if it's something you're interested in. And if you've never done my masterclasses, but you want to go straight into a deep dive into the academy, you can sign up for the academy, and we will send you access to the masterclasses that I've talked about coming up for free, so that you can get that basic foundation as well as the advanced training. And as I said, we've never done this before. So, and I don't know if we'll ever do it again. So it's a one-off offer for anybody who wants to seriously deep dive into their development. And there's also a link there, lindarauchmedium.com, if anyone wants to stay in touch with me. Thank you, Juanita. Juanita's one of our long-term students, as I said, as several others, if not many of the other people on the call. So we're very lucky. We have a wonderful group of people, and I can't do this work without my spiritual buddies, and I can't do this work without my community. And you have all become part of my community, which is why I chose to spend my birthday evening. I threw my son out, sent him back off to uni with his girlfriend, and my husband went and bought sushi and is off doing that. And I was like, no, I want to do this. And I thank you for those people who donated. That was very sweet. Some of that money goes to the upgraded Zoom account and the admin people and that kind of thing. And some of it's going to go to the White Lions of Timbavati. So thank you so much for your donations. And if you still want to donate, please do. If you go to the original link where you saw of in the email, if you got an email about this, then there's a donation link there. And Bijou, that's so sweet. If you contact the admin, the admin email, and just they can arrange for that to happen. Thank you. That's so lovely. Bijou is also a new one of our amazing people in the academy. And we don't even know her that well yet, but she's very special, I have to say. And Thomas as well is also new, who's amazing. And Emily is, oh yeah, anyway, I could go on and on and on. I'm just so incredibly blessed to have you guys in my life. So we've got a little bit of time. So if you want to ask a question, if you do ask a question, you will be on the recording. That's the only thing. So if you're okay with that, we might even just finish the recording. Don't switch it off yet, Debbie, but we might cut this bit off from the actual YouTube one, or we'll include it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, just bear in mind, if you don't mind being on camera, that's great. And yeah, let's have some questions. So Debbie, or Sharon, do you want to unmute yourself if you can do that? I don't know if Debbie, if you need to, or oh, there we go. Hi, Sharon.
Hi. I
Sharon's
don't have a
also
question, but
part of our academy.
yes, I don't have a question, but I just want to tell you something. As I was leaving the pyramid, I saw a symbol, and
Oh,
so I was trying to draw it afterwards, and I realized that you're not going to be able to see this very well, but it's the top one here.
oh, that looks like
And I
new.
realized as I was drawing it and I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, that's like the sign of Leo.
Oh, go a bit closer. Put it in the middle.
Yeah,
To the right, to the left, to the left.
the one on the top.
Okay.
Um, it's
Interesting.
not exactly the sign of Leo, but I'm looking at it like, why do I know that? Why do I know that? So then I looked up the
Yes.
sign of Leo and I'm like, oh my God, it's the sign of Leo.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I think those are the lion's claws.
Oh,
Because then, yeah,
wow.
yeah. So I redrew it as a symbol of Leo with four lion claw draw marks in it. And yeah, I only saw three, but I'm like, oh my God, how funny is that?
I can feel a tattoo coming on.
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking. But I'm like, I'm a Cancer. Why do I want a Leo tattoo?
Well, it's the lion. It's the
Yes.
energy of the lion. That's
Yes, awesome.
amazing, Sharon. Thank
And my
you.
cat sat on my lap for most of it, and
Oh,
like right in the middle, I got just incredibly hot, like burning up, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm getting a healing because I think healing when I'm doing healing on others, I get really really hot,
yeah.
and so I got really hot, and I thought, oh.
Yeah.
I must be being healed of something, which was awesome because, who doesn't want to be healed?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
anyway,
felt
thank you
that
so much.
too. I definitely felt that it was like a restructuring. It felt like an alignment. It did feel like an
Yes,
alignment.
yes.
And some people are nodding, so they also
Right.
felt that
Plus,
as well.
Leo is all about the fire, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Well, thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that. I thought those were kind of amazing. And thank you so much. It was lovely.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thomas.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Hello. So, first of all, you are so chic tonight, Linda.
Thank you.
So, I just wanted to give you some feedback about the meditation.
Yeah.
So, I felt so warm, like a warmth during the meditation. And the lions, I saw them like it was like angel lions. Like they were like white, very big, like with like big white wings. So I don't know if there's a mythical creature. I feel like maybe like a winged lion or something like this. Yeah,
Yes, there
that wa-
is.
that's what came up to me. And yeah, and so I just wanted to tell you like I just rewatched the assessment that we did earlier, and so it helped me so much, and it
Oh,
was so transformative. So yeah, and so I recommend everyone in the academy to do it because it was so good because you combine your like um your experience in counseling with like mediumship and psychic work. And so it was so efficient and so spot on. So I just wanted to say that as well. So thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you, Thomas. That's it was one of the pleasures for me is that with the academy, um, I get to do well. Anyone can book in for a spiritual assessment with me, but with the academy, it's much more affordable, and
Mhm.
it's really important for me to get to know people in the academy. So Thomas is talking about that we had an hour together, and yeah, it's a real blessing for me, and I'm so pleased that that was beneficial for you. That's really,
Yes.
really lovely. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I also did, the prophecy meditation that you told me to do.
Yes.
And honestly, it had another effect than what I expected. Like, it didn't like really help me for prophecy, like for seeing the future. I
Yeah.
think I'm still new to that, so I still need to let that soak in. And so what it did to me is like more of this like universal law that I got. Like almost like I got the answers that were like all the answers going to my head, you know?
Oh,
So and like this abundance kind of. So, but I love it so much. And your meditations are always so amazing. Like, to be honest, like I'm speechless because it's so good because like sometimes my mind might wander during the meditation and
yeah.
but then you always put us back on track in the meditation. Like you know how to do that. So thank you so much. And I really love this experience and you're really an amazing mentor and
Oh,
teacher, to be honest.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's the meditations I enjoy them because I kind of disappear off somewhere, and it's having the discipline to sit and do it for myself. I do, but I don't do it enough. And so when I get to do it in class, it's a real benefit for me. So I'm glad that it was benefit for you. And when I was doing Thomas's spiritual assessment, a little lizard ran across his floor, and he's in
Yes.
France. And it's never happened before, which was totally amazing. And also white butterflies, which is an emblem for you. It's like, has
Yeah,
meaning.
exactly. That's
So
my
it was,
emblem. Yeah.
it was very magical. So amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so much,
So,
Thomas.
so thank you
That's
so much.
that's so
Yeah.
lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And John, hello, John.
Linda, that was just an amazingly beautiful meditation and everything that you gave us before that. What a beautiful way to spend your birthday, which I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. And to thank you for being a big, huge part of my life and my evolution. I, I don't know where I would be if I hadn't met you. And so thank
Oh,
you. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart.
oh, thank you so much, John. And John, we actually met each other at the retreat that I had last year. And it's so funny when you see people on screen and you don't have a, you don't know what they're like. And then John turned up and I was like, oh, that's John. It's like, wow. It's like, I didn't think you looked like that. Not for any particular reason. But it was amazing meeting him in person. And you've been with us since the beginning, like nearly 4 years, which is absolutely amazing. You've been to people's weddings and or met. I don't know if I can't remember if you actually went to the wedding, but I know
I
that you've.
did.
Oh, you did. That's right, you did, and
Yes.
yeah, met people and the other academy people they've actually met in person. So, it's for me building community. We've got to build our prides. We've got to have our packs. We've got to. Lions function in groups. They don't function alone. And with the big wide heart of a lion, you cannot function alone. It's so important to have that sense of community, which is why I really try and foster that sense so much in the work that I do. So yeah, so thank you, John. That's so
You do a
lovely.
beautiful job of that. And it's just like I'm at a point in my life of the age of retirement. And, a lot of people, when they get to this point in their lives, they kind of just slow down. But I have just been so excited and passionate about learning so many new things and putting them to work and having, success with them. It's exciting and it just gives me a reason to keep wanting to go and learn. So I just love you so much and I appreciate you. Many, many happy returns. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, that's really lovely. This isn't an advert, by the way. I haven't asked these people to say these things. You know, this this has happened, and it's like for some reason we just have attracted some really incredible people in the academy, and we're very, very lucky, and that's just the way that it is. It's just happened that way. So, and yeah, I believe in what I do, which is why I don't like selling stuff, but I want everyone to be in this pack, just because it feels like a good one for people. But that's not necessarily about the feedback here or whatever. If we've only got a few minutes left. So maybe Rena, you might be the last person, but yeah, go ahead, Rena.
Sorry, Linda.
That's okay.
I've raised my hand for Sevi. She wants to share something and she's unable to do it. So if someone can help unmute her, she has,
Okay.
she has raised in chat few times. So,
Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at that. Thank you. Let me see if I can.
but yes, my experience is incredible, and we now have a practice group as well, which is
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
incredible. Yes, we
Yes,
don't advertise it, but it is incredible.
that's true. Yeah, you get to practice with each other, which is very helpful. Thank you, Rena. So Savvy, I can't unmute you from this side, um, but Debbie, if you can
Hey,
see.
I've unmuted.
Oh, there we go. Hey,
Hi.
Savvy.
I just
Hi.
Hi, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank you.
don't I don't know what's happened to the video. I've disappeared, but I'm very much here. So just firstly wanted to say happy birthday and again, thanks for everything. It's a joy to be here tonight with you, with everybody and be in the academy. It's been amazing. Um, what I really wanted to share was I got this real sense of community during the meditation. And as you just said about lions needing to be together, to work in a pack. And I got community, empowerment council, guidance, oneness, power, leadership. These are all the words that were coming through. And
Brilliant.
then I got this, I also get very heated when I'm either healing or receiving a spirit. So I got very hot at one point, and then I felt like I was sort of coming out of my solar plexus. I got a lot of this beautiful golden yellow, then this emerald green, and then I also received a symbol, which was a heart with wings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I could see the lion, the white lion in the heart.
Okay.
So that was beautiful.
Yeah, and another connection. Thomas also said he saw the lions with wings, but a different representation of that. But it
Yes.
was interesting because I wasn't expecting to call in the angels. It just hadn't, beforehand when I was preparing and I was kind of feeling into the energies. And as I was starting to open up, I felt the need to acknowledge and call in the angels. And it was the wings that I was seeing, especially of the angels. And it felt important to talk about the protection that those wings give us.
Yes.
So maybe it is somehow connected to the white lions.
Well, I really felt that in the meditation. And then, as I said, when I came out of sort of through the solar plexus, um, that's what I saw. And it was just so strong, but this real sense of togetherness and community and counsel. That's what I
Yeah,
got.
I
Counsel.
love that word,
Yeah.
counsel.
So thank you.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
thank you so much. Yeah, that's I love that. I love that word. Um, yeah, just I'm really excited about this because this kind of makes me feel like I should do this more often. And it's, because I get frustrated not being able to do longer meditations in the master classes because we only have 90 minutes. So I may well do this again in some way, connected to something when the need arises. But it's so
Wonderful.
good to have that space and time
Yes.
where you have the opportunity to really experience on an archetypal level the symbols that you're getting because you feel it, it's embodied.
Yes.
Otherwise you're rushing in and rushing out pretty quickly. And you can achieve a lot in a couple of minutes, but a longer meditation, you can really kind of go deep. So
I really felt like I went on a journey there, and I feel everybody else was in, we were all in this wonderful journey together. There was, yeah, just a real sense of togetherness. So it was very beautiful, very profound. So thank you
wouldn't
again.
that's a pleasure. And wouldn't it be incredible if we actually were all together
Yes,
in one
please.
place, cooking together, eat shopping together.
Just say when and where.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's who knows, but it just yeah, community and our council of each other,
Yes.
is just so absolutely essential. I completely agree with you. So we coming up to the hour. I didn't necessarily set a time, but it feels like a natural ending. I'll finish off with just one last little story, which some of you have already heard, but I didn't really know that the Lions Gate didn't really become a thing until around 2012, and so most of my life I've gone through really being miserable because my birthday's in August, which meant that I was the youngest kid in the class and I was a little bit kind of dyslexic anyway, which never got diagnosed in those days. And so I was kind of struggling and I was the youngest and everybody had birthday parties except for me because in August in England everybody went on holiday. So some people are nodding here. So it was like, what's the point of having a birthday? Everyone's going to be away. And if I did have a birthday party, it was even worse because people didn't turn up because they were away. So I always was always kind of a bit of a misery guts and a bit of an Eeyore and oh, it's my birthday and no one's here, or it's my birthday and we're away and whatever. And I've never valued it. And more, of course, because I'm being a Leo. Leos love their birthdays. They love attention. They want to be loved and adored and gifts all over the place and all of that. There's this whole thing with Leos. They have to be recognized, especially if they're kind of, slightly insecure. And so my birthdays have grown in significance because it just ended up being the time that I always went to see the crop circles. And the crop circles, of course, we don't know how they're made, but I'm pretty convinced, 100%, 110% convinced in my own personal experience, and I've been into hundreds of them, they can't possibly be made by humans. Some of them are, possibly a lot of them are, but I've been into too many that I know for sure are not made by humans. And so there is this connection with the star beings. And so every year around that first week of August, because it's about when most of the formations have arrived and they're about to be harvested. So typically that's when I go to Wiltshire, which over the last couple of decades, that's where the most of the crop circles have been. And so there's often really magical experiences for me. And a couple, 2, 3 years ago, maybe slightly, it must be longer, maybe 5, 6 years ago, and some of you have heard this story before. It was the Lion's Gate, and we were rushing home because my son and his girlfriend had made a little tea for me, and I hadn't met her before. I'd met her once, something like that. And so we had to bomb down the M4 back to the London area. And we just heard, just as we were leaving, that there was a crop circle and it was newly formed. And get there now because the farmers are on their way to cut them down because they now, in recent years, later years, since this phenomena has really stepped up again, the farmers get rid of them very quickly because they don't want people to come on their land. So we knew the farmers were coming, so we rushed there, got out the car, ran into the field as quickly as we could, felt the energy. I gave myself, 10 minutes because we literally knew that the farmers were coming up the road. And I sat there and I tuned in. And as I tuned in, I felt the presence of just this huge grey rubbery head. And it was like the side of their head was next to my head like this. And I could just about see their eye, which was a huge eye. And it was so fast. It was so, we had to rush that I was like, is this a grey, what they call greys as, star beings or aliens or whatever you call them? What is this? What am I seeing? What am I seeing? And I could feel this slightly cold, but still warm, but slightly more cold, rubbery face, how you imagine a soft elephant would be. And I said, okay, I don't know who you are, whatever, but tell me your name. They tell me their name. And what do I need to know? And she showed me an elongated heart, like a really exaggerated, elongated heart. And I thought, oh, it's my birthday. They're sending me love. This is so nice. That's really sweet. Anyway, then it was like we heard the tractors coming. We ran out of the crop circle. We bombed back home, and I got home, and my son and my girlfriend had made a cake for me, and they decorated it with an elongated heart. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing, really amazing. And it was like she needed to give me proof that she knew what was going on and that I wasn't imagining things. And she was there. It was like she was part of the crop circle experience. And again, that was the most amazing 8th of the 8th Lionsgate experience for me. And it has become this kind of portal experience for me around this time. So anyway, there you go. That was kind of a last story. And these stories and various other crazy things like that are in my book. I had to write it all out because it's too much to stay in my head. It's like I'm going to forget this stuff, and one day I might have a grandchild that might want to read what his or her crazy grandma got up to. Who knows? But anyway, there you go. So listen, thank you so much, all of you. I so appreciate it. You are amazing. You make my life so much better. And I would love to get to know every single one of you if I could. old faces like Greg. Haven't seen Greg for ages. People that I haven't seen, people that I know, and just really warms my heart so much. So, have an amazing rest of the Lion's Gate all the way until the 12th, and maybe I'll meet some more of you in the academy. And feel free to contact me through my website if you want to ask me questions or anything like that. I don't want to go, but I need to. So much love. Thank you so much. Much love. Blessed be. Good night.